Tonight on Collective Stupidity. Jacob is still getting hate.
Oh, you forgot? You forgot your terrible point you were making about bad movies?
I finished my point. Fuck you, Sam. Dominic has a theory.
Like, what kind of incident has happened that involves people being outside, either being pushed into...
Nazi Germany!
No.
And the Sith control the Papacy.
Do you see this? Are you guys see this guy? He's got like a...
I thought you were looking at
he is 100% a Sith Lord, dude. That is so...
I was going to spend the morning preparing for the show.
Yes.
Instead, I spent the morning editing a video.
Nice.
I'm now underprepared for the show.
Well, to be fair, I mean, anything...
that's better.
Any level of preparation is better than what I usually come in with, and I'm the one who kind of has to keep things moving. So,
you're the host.
Yeah, I know.
No, I was gonna prepare like a whole thing.
Joe Rogan over here.
I totally didn't. I instead edited a thing
Jamie,
for
pull that
Camp
up.
Tiger.
Jamie, pull that up.
About it.
What were you gonna do? Sorry,
Jamie.
I was busy being Joe Rogan. What up?
Sorry. So that reference went over my head. I had a stroke. It's like, who the hell is Jamie? You mean from like my ninth grade German class? How do you know
Yes,
him?
exactly. Yes, that is exactly who I meant. Jamie, pull it up right now.
Tonight, I speak in a funny voice. Sam makes more outrageous claims, and Dom laughs at a pun.
Are you going to be talking in that voice the entire time?
I think, and this is gonna be my topic. This is gonna be my topic for today. Is the opening of Top Gear.
How are you going to make that a topic?
It really is. It's a 15-second bit. Man.
Yeah, that's like that. It is literally at
Yeah,
most a 30-second bit.
It's a 15-second bit that I will find a way to stretch across like 15 minutes.
All right, whatever. I trust him personally. I think he can do it. I don't know about you guys.
I don't personally, but
okay,
yeah,
I don't
sure.
either.
I'll
give it to him. To be supportive. I have no faith in it. Anyways,
sink or swim with that. Sink or swim.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 10th episode of the Collective Stupidity podcast, or just Collective Stupidity again. If you can't figure out a third word, it's just too much for your smooth, not wrinkly, mealworm, maggot-infested brain. You can just do the Collective Stupidity. You don't need the podcast. It's really, it might be above you. I'm gonna be honest here. It might be a little above you, and that's okay. But we have a very special 10th episode here for you today.
Jeez, man.
I thought you were gonna say we had a special guest.
No,
that was pretty strong.
Thank you. That's all the prep work I did for today. It all went into that intro. Anyway, so Samuel, do you have something maybe you want to say to the other fellas in the call right now for what you did last episode?
I regret nothing.
See, I don't remember the post-credit scene from last episode.
Hey, Sam, don't apologize. Take it like a man. It's base. I approve.
Oh no, I do feel like actually legit sorry because like some people were. Well, actually, no. You're sparing me a Discord. That's fair.
Yeah, Dominic
people tried
left
to
you
call
a
me.
voicemail.
Also fair.
Yeah.
One left a voicemail.
No.
I appreciate all of your efforts to try and get me on live, and it'll never happen again. Wink. But I am sorry. I am sorry. And actually, to be honest, all of your efforts to try and make sure I did not miss an episode that really touched my heart, and I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you miss an episode again, I'm going to torture you.
I'm going to torture you? Relax, man. Relax, dude. You don't need to do it. As payment, as much as I regret to, inform, admit, or agree to, Jacob has decided to give the entirety of my 2 shares to Robert Calhoun.
Yeah.
So,
hold on a second.
We're now ahead, buddy.
Gentlemen, we got to back up a second. Robert Calhoun,
Right.
I get nothing. I had to work really hard that stuff out, Sam. Keep on Robert Calhoun. This is a 50-50 split.
No. So that was I want to clarify. That wasn't final. That wasn't decided.
I know it wasn't final because I would quit if it was.
I arbitrarily said I'm gonna give both of them to Robert Calhoun to piss Sam off. And that's not actually what we're doing.
And now it's being used to piss off Dominic.
Yeah.
I want my share of
Okay,
the
fine.
0 cents $0 making the show.
The 2 shares will go to Dominic. Get fucked, Robert. There. Does that make you happy?
Oh.
Does that make you happy? Is everybody happy
It
with
does.
this?
Yes.
Just barely.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
barely.
happy.
You're still on thin ice. You're still on thin ice, buddy.
The Ice Bucket Challenge came back.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
It has. I've seen it on the Instagram, which means it's real.
Yes. You've seen it in real
Instagram.
life, too. But, you know.
And I've seen it in real life, but I mean, it was you. Does that really count? I mean,
That-
it does count.
I
but
mean, you know, fair. But I just think...
I also know you.
Yeah. I think it's interesting, though, that
Hmm?
we have brought back one of arguably... Like, it is a machine designed specifically for slime in your homies. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole idea of it, right, is... Here's this unpleasant thing that I have to do. Let me make one of my other good friends do it too. And I think...
Yeah, standard procedure.
I just think it's interesting how this challenge that's supposed to be like a really good thing, you know, spreading awareness of mental health and all that, has been twisted to let me make my friends suffer. And
I mean, are you really friends if you don't make your friends do
that's a good
something
point.
unpleasant?
That
That's how
is
I
a
know
good
you and
point.
I are friends, Jacob, because you said because you publicly mocked me because I was busy that day, and then you made me get drenched in cold water.
At that point, I'm formulating plans. I'm scheming. Call me Dutch Vanderland the way I be planning. And then I get...
Yo, you picked the wrong person. It's like Dutch Vanderland. This is the worst planner in the history of planning.
Nah, he's got a plan, Sam. He's got a plan. Fuck off.
They
He's got a
always
plan.
fail. They always find a different planner. Call me Dutch Vanderland. You do not inspire confidence with that saying. I just want you to know that.
That's like saying, "Call me Plankton," the way I be stealing.
Yes. Call me Plankton the way I be running a successful business. That's what you're saying right now.
Listen, he makes a lot of plans. He's got to be good at it. He was fine up until Blackwater, right?
It was fine up until he strangled a pregnant woman on a boat.
Yeah, well, look, okay,
Call
whatever.
me OJ, the way I be getting away with crimes.
No, do not bring OJ into this. Anyways, okay, we're moving on. I was scheming...
What are you talking about? O.J. Simpson is obviously innocent. Why else would he be on the freeway moving towards the border of Mexico? Fake mustache, $4,000 cash, members of his family's a loaded handgun. This is normal. I do this all the time.
Yeah,
What
that's how I spend my weekend. The fuck are you talking about?
Can I digress? Can I have a little side note? I'm gonna
Yes, have a little side note. Yeah.
A little while ago, this was like, I guess it's not a little while ago. It was actually like 8 years ago now. But Ford released the new Ford Bronco, and they missed the best marketing opportunity ever. Right, the new Ford Bronco. All they had to do to sell it, all they had to do, was just a commercial. Right, you fade up from black. You see a Ford Bronco flying down the freeway in LA, cops behind him, right? He like handbrakes, turns, pulls over, window goes down, O.J. Simpson leans out. With this car, get away from anything. Sold.
Oh
I
my
buy one.
God.
I buy one right now.
That would unironically
That
would
would
be
be the
one of the
best.
greatest car ads I've ever seen.
It would have been like the worst in terms of political correctness and the best in terms of success car ads of all
Yeah,
time.
it's like that. It's that one like Volkswagen ad that I think Top Gear made. It's like from Berlin to Warsaw in one tank.
Berlin to Warsaw in one tank. Oscar Diesel from Berlin to Warsaw in one tank. That was a good one. Again, it would have been really good if they did that of O.J. Simpson, but they can't now. He's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Uh,
At least he can rest in peace knowing his wife's killer is dead.
Hey,
Yeah.
rest in peace, my friend O.J. Simpson. Enjoy the fires. I'm sure it's warm
If I
down there.
did that in a base model, pure white Bronco, I would have bought a Bronco. I mean, I can't afford one, but I would have gone to debt to buy one because that would have been
I would have
from Ford.
contacted a loan shark. I would foreclose on my home. I would do anything for a Bronco.
Hey, J.P. Morgan, can I just find me a little 40,000 grand, please?
A small loan of a Ford Bronco.
You're getting off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, chat, I'm not gonna lie to you. One time I accidentally ghosted someone for 2 years.
It does happen. It does happen. I would laugh at that.
Clearly, they didn't care that much if they didn't even bother reaching back out.
Yeah.
I would laugh at that. I'm quite bad at communicating with people, despite that being like the major part of my job is communication. I have like on a regular basis goes to people for 3 to 4 months at a time. I'm quite bad at human communication, but 2 years is a long time. I've never done 2 years. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me pull up my phone. I reckon I can beat you there. I reckon I've done longer than 2 years.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I gotta put my text.
So
Scroll to the bottom.
while you're doing that, let me just walk you through what happened with me. So it was at this point I'd moved. I moved in 3rd grade, halfway through 3rd grade, and it was probably like sophomore year of high school that I get a DM from him on Instagram saying, "Hey, are you Jacob from and I'm like, yeah, and I am, and he's like, oh, cool, I'm your friend from a while back, and then so we talked for like a while, one night, and then I'm like, all right, I'm tired, I'm gonna, I gotta go to bed, I got like a test in the morning or something like that, I'll talk to you tomorrow though, and then like in my mind maybe a week or a month goes by, and I'm talking to one of my other friends, and I'm like, yeah, this guy reached out to me a while ago, and I think it's interesting. And then I went to pull up the message to show them, and I realized that in the span of what I felt had been like 2 months, it was actually 2 years. And I'm honestly, I don't know what happened, because it did not feel like 2 years. But looking back at the messages, it was. So I feel like I was the victim of some sort of time dilation event. I feel like something happened there that I feel like some cosmic intervention happened to make me.
Are you suggesting you were adopted by aliens and you came back and like time is different? That's kind of what it sounds like.
I'm not ruling it out. What I am implying though is, I feel like some sort of cosmic trickster maybe plucketh upon my strings a little, and just kind of, artificially extended the dates between when I first responded and when I realized I ghosted him. I feel like there's some sort of cosmic trickery here.
This just in: journalist refuses to take responsibility for being forgetful and blames Loki for.
But no, it was 2 years. It was 2 years.
It does kind of feel like you just went up there and said, you know what, I'm sorry, but it was actually Archangel Gabriel who caused my DM.
I swear to God. I swear to God, guys, I didn't leave him on red for 2 years. I didn't. Like, something had to have meddled.
No, you know what it was? It was senior year of high school and then freshman year of college. That's what happened. You got busy and you forgot.
Yeah, it
happened.
Yeah, you lived your life.
There's kind of a law of not really a law in the same way like a law of physics, but it's kind of a pattern here I've noticed with like not just me, like other people have noticed this too about human nature, which is when we experience a lot of things at once. In the moment, it feels quite short, but when you think about it retrospectively over time, it feels quite long.
Mm-hmm.
And usually the gap between your graduation of high school and your first year of college, many things happen, not just in school, but within your life as you become an adult, which causes that gap time to feel much longer than it actually is.
Yes.
We see this in vacations too, right? You go to a vacation in like Hawaii, right? It feels, I was only there for 6 days. It was so fast. But think about it retrospectively, you feel like you've been there much longer. You remember a lot more about it because there's more stuff to cling on to than it was at school. And I think this would happen to you. As I think lots of things happen between high school and college for you. And the result of that is that events that take place in those time frames have a lot more happening between them, so they feel farther apart than they actually are.
So that is a good theory, and that is true. However, this happened from sophomore year of high school to senior year of high school. So I think my brain chemistry just doesn't work. Is honestly the approach I'm gonna take.
Your brain just turned to mush.
Yeah.
Brains turned to mush.
Does it happen?
Yeah, my brain got a little too skibbity, a little too sussy among us. And I think
speaking of Skibbity Toilet, I have more to add to this conversation. I tried to watch. Let me back up a little bit. I tried to watch Skibbity Toilet on YouTube. I really gave my best go.
Oh
I
my
wanted to see
God.
what the kids were talking about. I tried to watch it, right? So
How far did you get?
I found an hour-long compilation of the first 80 episodes of it, right? And I put it on. And earlier I was talking about how some experiences feel much longer than they actually do. I was sitting,
Yeah.
and I swear to God, I watched like 2 hours of this damn show, right? Like I watched 2 hours of Skibidi Toilet, and I looked down at the bar at the bottom, the scroll bar, and I was watching for 15 minutes.
Oh my
I
God.
don't know how it happened. I swear to God, it was 2 hours, but I looked down. I've only watched it for like 15 minutes. It's like, son of a, how the hell this show? It's like the opposite of the TV. Usually, when you watch TV, it feels like you haven't watched as long as you actually have. It's like, wow, it's been this long. But it's like the opposite effect there. And I swear to God, it felt like I watched it for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Like there were moments there where I can get on my phone because I got bored of it, and I took off my phone and I wrote some stuff down. I didn't write my stuff out. And I looked at the scroll bar at the bottom of the video.
Mm-hmm.
15 minutes. 15 minutes is how far I got into it. But I swear it was 2 hours. It felt like 2 hours.
See,
But it was only 15
the
minutes.
thing with Skibidi Toilet is it's if you're in middle school or younger, then it's the most captivating thing you've ever seen. However, if you're
Right.
anyone else, the only appropriate way to watch it is in one sitting at 3 a.m. And that's how I did it, and that's how I recommend everyone else does it.
I wasn't able to finish it. I
Was a
wasn't able to finish it.
disgusted look on your face the entire time?
I tried. I gave it the college try here, but I got 15 minutes in. 2 hours of my time lost is what I'm counting as 15 minutes. And I was unable to finish it. I had to call it quits. And I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back.
Uh-huh.
Don't send me back.
Have you guys watched it? Have you guys
There you
finished
go.
Skibidi Toilet?
No, I haven't watched it.
Good man, Bob. Good
I
man.
have I have the slightest suspicion that it is a sort of parasitic psychic brain worm trying to infect me. So I have avoided watching it, and I hold on to my schizo views.
Yeah,
I
So,
really can't
you know,
recommend it.
so-
I really can't recommend it.
I have an opposite opinion to that because I have watched it again at 3 a.m. the whole thing. It was surprisingly entertaining for what it was.
Oh my
Bro.
God.
What?
Well, hold on. I'm not saying it's good. It is brain
You are
rot.
gonna have to
It
explain
is
yourself
brain
here.
rot
You
in its
must explain
purest
yourself
sense.
here.
It is the same as the enjoyment one gets from a really shitty bad movie. It's like it's the same thing you experience at the Minecraft movie, which we still can't talk about because fuck you, Dominic. Watch the goddamn movie.
Yeah, fuck
But
you, Dominic.
anyways,
I haven't seen it. Still haven't seen it.
it's like it's so bad you have to watch it because you need to see the appeal. You know, my enjoyment honestly
Like
came from
Morbius?
yes, exactly like Morbius. It's the same concept. People like hate watching Morbius. You need to watch it to understand what it is, and then it's like a train crash you can't look away from. Is honestly what the best way to describe it.
I suppose.
I'm just recording a podcast right now. Don't mind me. You're good. You're good to go. Yeah, thank you. My aunt just passed me.
Oh, hello,
Or my
Sam's
cousin,
aunt.
actually. But
Sam's cousin. He doesn't know his
She's
own
gone.
fammy. Oh, okay.
fuck you. Just continue on what you're saying.
Well, who was saying something? I don't
It's
remember.
a big family. You forgot your terrible point you were making about bad
No,
movies? Great, let's
I
move
finished
on.
my point. Fuck you, Sam. Fuck you. I don't like you. Anyways, all right, fine. We'll move on from fucking Skibidi Toilet. I thought we were having an interesting conversation, but no, Sam ruined it.
Explain yourself.
I did explain myself. I did explain myself.
Zootopia. Let's talk about it.
Jesus Christ, man. All right, so I'm going to talk about specifically Zootopia 2, and I want to preface this, Samuel, that I enjoy this film,
Yeah.
Sam, and I don't want you ruining it, so you stay the fuck away from my Zootopia. Am I understood?
Okay, yeah, we've got an agreement. We've got a gentleman's agreement. Let's spit and shake on it.
Don't bring spit into it.
Sure.
Spit and shake. Send an emoji.
Did you just send an emoji? I want to look at your emoji. Show me your fucking emoji here.
Okay.
I see no emoji.
Hang on.
There's no emoji.
There is one. You just gotta be creative, Jacob. It's not that hard. Here, check it out. See? Spit and shake. Just do this.
Yeah, just do.
Jesus Christ. Sam, you greatly overestimate my ability to use Discord.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I can pull up.
I don't know.
Jesus.
I'm gonna be honest, Sam. I don't know if Grandpa can post those emojis.
Hold on, I can do this.
So that hit by 5 years. Or no, 4 years. Oh god, it's going up.
There is no spit.
3 years.
I can't find the spit. Water? Is it underwater?
Yeah, it's water.
Yeah, just use water. Just use the water. It's not actual spit. It's
Oh, hold on.
How is this so hard?
I don't use a note. There you go. You have
That's
to.
not a spit. That's a tidal wave.
Close enough.
bro just drenched me,
It's
bro.
also
What the fuck
a-
is this?
What do you want?
It's also a different hand. And I don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
why.
What are you
You
gonna do?
you
What are
did
gonna do?
hand splayed. He did raised hand.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna cry
I'll take
about? You
it.
gonna cry
I'll
about
take it.
Yeah, I might cry about it, Dominic. I might cry about it, actually. It's been a stressful week. I might cry about it. Fucking talk
Okay.
about your animal.
That's our
movie.
gentleman's agreement. Talk about your animal movie.
Yeah, talk about your stupid ass movie.
Robert, you have
Zootopia.
no ground to talk. You talked about porno last week. I don't want to hear it. from you.
Tonight.
Fuck off,
I
fuck
talk
off,
about
fuck off,
porn.
fuck off. Stop. We're doing Zootopia. We're doing Zootopia right now.
I must say, I do feel like personally insulted by everyone in this group chat, but I'm gonna press on like a true.
What are you talking
man.
about? How have we insulted you?
Mainly by Sam and Robert, to be honest.
Dominic, I've been
That's
waiting
okay.
for this for like weeks. Please, I need to know.
Okay. All right. So before the show, I was gonna sit down and like prepare a whole list of bullet points I want to go over, but instead of doing that, I did other things. So I'm gonna go off the cuff a little bit as I go through this. But let me explain to you. I think I've worked out what the plot of Zootopia 2 is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But before we go into that, we need to discuss a little bit more about Zootopia 1.
Gotcha.
So let's
Bro's
cast
giving us a recap.
previously.
let's cast our minds. Let's cast our minds back to 2016, right? Okay, so it's 2016. We've entered the golden year of the smartphone, right? Everyone's having a go at the smartphone, and Zootopia 2 comes out, and it's great.
I think you
At
mean
the end of
Zootopia 1
Zootopia
comes
2.
out.
Thank you. Zootopia 1. I'm gonna cut that. You can cut that out. I'll redo it.
Yeah, I'm not doing
Cast
that,
your
but you know.
Son of a bitch. Zootopia 1 comes out in 2016, right? And it's a really good film. In fact, I think it's one of the best films from Disney in the 2010s. I think it's up there, right? It might be beaten out by like Inside Out was also quite a good film. Frozen is a good film, but not for me. But Zootopia is up there as a film. Now, at the end of the film, it's kind of implied that there's more to come, right? It's kind of implied there'll be a sequel. And so everyone kind of knew that in 2016, Zootopia will have a sequel at some point, right? What nobody was going to predict is that 9 years later, it took 9 years to get to that point. We kind of thought there'd be a sequel by like 2018, because usually Disney moves pretty fast these kind of things, but they took it quite slow. It's not the
And
slowest.
I'm sure COVID only exacerbated
Yeah,
the
that
issue.
did-
Yeah, I'm
help.
sure the Rona threw a wrench in their plans, but it's not the slowest. The Incredibles, I think there was like a 15-year gap between Incredibles 1 and Incredibles 2. But in general, with Disney, and with many film companies, but you can especially see with Disney, the longer in between sequels usually correlates with the better the sequel is. Right? So look at like
Wow.
films they pushed
Usually.
out sequels for left and right, like Ice Age, right? They just pumped out sequels of Ice Age, like one a year, one every 2 years.
So,
They weren't really good.
Dominic, I'm sorry. I was on your side. I'm gonna have to fight you. What, are you slandering Ice Age? Because Ice Age 1 through 3 is peak. Like I can't. Like are you
Ice Age.
telling me Dawn of the Dinosaurs isn't the best fucking movie you've ever seen in your childhood?
I can see why you like it. I can definitely see why you like it. I can't see it appeal to me, and I don't know if it's on the same scope as Zootopia.
Well, I'll tell you, it's fucking
I'm
better
happy
than
to enjoy it.
Zootopia. I'll tell you that much for free. Anyways, move on. You fucking pissed me off now, and I'm not rooting for you anymore. In fact, I hope your theory's wrong a little bit because of what you've just said about Ice Age. But I'm gonna try my best to be supportive and a nice friend and like listen to you and really like take in your points. But I can't promise anything anymore, Dominic. Like I make no promises. Please continue though.
Son of a
Please
bitch.
continue.
I've lost my only support here. So it's the we know there's a sequel coming. We just don't know when, right? And a long time, and COVID happens, right? And midway through, like I think this month, I don't know the dates. I would have prepared a bit more, but I didn't. So in the early 20s, in the 2020s, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was some leaks of some backgrounds. Somebody leaked some backgrounds that Disney were working on, and it showed like kind of like a Mississippi biome of for Zootopia. So for the audience who may not know, Zootopia is kind of a buddy cop movie of sorts, about a rabbit and a fox getting together and just beating some sort of crime scheme within this giant city. And the city is made up of like a center city, and there's different biomes for the different animals around us. There's a desert biome, there's a rainforest biome, there's like a winter biome, right? And we're kind of introduce, I'm using that in air quotes, to this kind of like Mississippi, kind of swampy, lots of beavers, lots of crocodile kind of biome, right? And that's about all we knew. We knew like a couple of other details, like we know that they're going to search for like new voice actors, not for Nick and Judy, but for some other ones. We know that the voice actor, whoever his name was for Lionheart, didn't re-sign a contract, so he's out, which makes sense. And we know like a general release date for before 2028, I think is what they said at some point, right?
Well,
and that's
hold
about
on. Do we know that? Is that a current thing? Like, do we know that now, or did we know that then when the thing leaked?
Then, like
okay.
in 2018, we kind of knew like within the next decade was it projected, and we know most of this based on Disney is very secretive about what films they're producing, but they do kind of, how to put it, they release some details to the stakeholders, right? They'll kind of tell the stakeholders, we are working on these films, and we suspect they'll be out before this time, so don't stop giving us money. And in general, they're really kind of generous with the time they give themselves, right? So, I think they put out 2028 as a possibility for Zootopia 2, but it's going to come out in November this year. So they put a pretty big bump around that. Anyway, let's fast forward a little bit to 2025. We're going to pull forward to early May of this year. So earlier this month, right? We had Cinecon, right?
Well,
Cinemacon
earlier last month, but yeah.
Last month, oh, is it April already?
Yeah.
May. Wait, no, I can't count it.
Yeah, no, I'm assuming you meant March, which is why I said last month, because May hasn't happened yet. So.
Yes. So no, I meant earlier this month. So.
This month. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it went from like March 30th to April 2nd. Right. It was in Vegas. This year. Usually it's in LA. This year was in Vegas, and this is it's called CinemaCon 2025. It's when all the big studios kind of get together and they kind of announce to the world, this is what we're working on. This is when you expect it. It's a bit of hype, right? And Disney has a panel. Now in this panel, Disney kind of announces we got 3 things coming this year, right? We've got Frozen 3.
Yep.
Which nobody cares about because it's Frozen 3. Another fucking Lion King spin-off live action thing. Another one.
Oh yeah, Mufasa.
John,
yeah.
Why do they keep doing these?
Because they
Because it makes them money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they do it. I'm sure they were very happy to announce to the stakeholders that they were doing another Lion King live action. To the actual anyone who watches the
guys, we have a real banger this time. Trust me.
Real
brand new idea here. The Lion King.
But live action again.
You know what it might be? It might be Lion King, the weird sequel they did with the lion had the mohawk.
No, it's
Lion God. Was it Lion God? Was that called Lion God?
I think maybe. No, this is it's the prequel with Mufasa and Scar.
I'm reaching way back to Frontal Cortex. If it wasn't obvious, I didn't listen to that portion of the show because the next thing they announced was Zootopia 2. Right, and they announced this last, and for a reason. Right, Disney with these kind of things, they always put the best stuff last, best for last. And they know like Zootopia 2 is gonna be probably one of the better films of 2025. Right, like Lion King is Lion King. That's not gonna be good. That's just to make money. Frozen 3 might have some. I don't know. I don't hold a lot of faith.
I don't know, man.
I also haven't
Kids like
seen Frozen 2.
Kids like Frozen.
Kids do like, but certainly my little cousin likes Frozen. I had to watch Frozen 1 like 1,000 times when I used to babysit her. I'm sure she's thrilled that Frozen 3 is coming out. But then they announce Zootopia 2, right? And this is the big one, right? This is the one that's going to be like the climax film for 2025. It's going to be Zootopia 2. And we released just a handful of details about what's going to happen in this film. So we're first off, the woman who voices Judy, whatever her name is, I'll pull it up. Comes on stage and kind of introduces, "Hey, so we're working on.
We're making another one.
We're making
doing
another
a sequel."
Yeah, Jennifer Goodwin That's her name. Jennifer Goodwin comes on stage. Says, "Hey, I'm Judy Hopps, but I'm actually not Judy Hopps. I'm actually Jennifer Goodwin, and we're gonna do another. It's Zootopia 2." And then she introduces a new character. Right? This is where things get kind of interesting.
Okay.
So she introduces, and she
Right.
doesn't describe this character as a villain. She kind of describes it as the catalyst of which all the drama in the next show happens with, but not necessarily as a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you're describing it as this is the reason why all the problems are happening is kind of a villainy thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not described as a villain. And then we get a picture of this guy, and his name is Gary, right? And Gary is not a villainous name.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks like
No.
this.
What's he look like? Hit me with it.
Oh,
He
he's
looks
the
like this.
he's voiced by the guy
Let's
who
go look
played,
at Gary.
I'm
the
gonna
Asian
get
kid
there.
in the-
I'm gonna get there.
Well, I'm sure glad I didn't hear that because everybody
Let me
was talking
see
over each other.
This is all part of I have a whole presentation here. If I can figure out how to download an image.
Dominic,
I
I
was
need
very
to see
wrong.
Dominic. I
Images
need to see
downloaded.
Gary. Why haven't I seen Gary yet?
Because I downloaded it to a hard drive and not my downloads.
You have about 4 seconds before I say who voices Gary.
No,
You
don't.
and I hope the situation
don't,
about
don't spoil the man's bit.
Merry Christmas. That one's Gary. Obviously, he's not a villain. Right? He's this goobery looking blue snake.
I mean, he's a
He's missing a
snake.
tooth.
Yeah.
He's got eyes that are great. He's all cartoony. Like there's no way this guy's a villain. Right?
Uh-huh.
You can pick that up now. Well, and secondly, he's a snake. Right? Zootopia is all about averting expectations. Right? That's the entire premise of the film.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Look back.
I'm gonna be racist towards the snake.
Thanks, Robert.
Snake
I appreciate
racism. Hell yeah.
that.
I'm here for it, baby. This is what we need in
Right, so we look back
2025.
was
Yeah, no, I'm profiling the snake.
Yeah, the snake's gonna become a statistic.
it's gonna be another number.
Yeah.
Right,
Anyways.
so look back towards the first film. Right? You got Judy, this tiny little bunny, don't do anything serious or dangerous, right? And she becomes a police officer. That's a vision of expectations, right? You got Nick, he's a fox. Fox is a skeevious or whatever, right? But he's actually a hero. Subversion. The lion should be proud and the leader of the group, but he's actually a criminal. That's a subversion. The sheep's always a herd animal, but actually she's not a herd animal. She's in charge of the whole underground operation. It's a subversion of details. So there's no way that this snake is a villain. But he's kind of shown to be like, this is not a main character, but he is a main character, but he's
I
not.
mean, this guy looks like.
He's not one of the good guys.
So
kinda
yeah,
how he's
nah.
portrayed.
Mhm.
Right. Okay. Cool. So we're introduced to this character, and then they show us like a snippet of the film. And they show us 2 snippets of the film, right, to the audience live.
Mm-hmm.
And none of it's recorded, except for like by naughty film goers at this convention of the iPhones who filmed it and
Uh-huh.
put it on YouTube. And I was able to find the first section of this. I can't find the second, which is fine because the second's kind of irrelevant to the basis of my theory here.
Mm-hmm.
But the first second has Judy and Nick, and they're going through this Mississippi biome, and they're trying to find the snake by asking people around. And they ask this beaver and like some funny antics ensue, and the beaver eats a fish
Mm-hmm.
out of the statement.
Classic.
It establishes this classic. This establishes like 5 different things, but the big thing it establishes is that Judy and Nick are going to be looking for the snake. All right, so that's the premise. That's a segment of the premise of the film here.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Now, I can pull up my notes. Okay, so next thing we have to talk about is kind of a glaring fact that I mean I find it glaring, but I don't think it is glaring. But I guess it is to the right kind of person. Gary is a snake, and snakes
No shit.
are not. Yeah, no shit, Mark. And snakes are not mammals,
Mhm.
right? Up to this point, up till 3 weeks ago, the only animals in Zootopia are mammals,
Uh-huh.
right? Like no, there were no crocodiles, there were no birds,
Mhm.
there's no fish, there's none of that. Right? It's purely mammals, but it's kind of theorized that there are other kingdoms or species of animals in this world because they address like a missing persons case as a missing mammal case, not a missing animal case.
Mhm.
A missing mammal case. There's a reason to be specific about it, right? But Gary's introduced. He is clearly a snake. Like he's not a mammal.
Yep.
And unlike everyone else in Zootopia, he's also not wearing any clothes. But everyone in Zootopia is dressed, but not him.
Mm. Well, I don't know.
So-
There is that group of nudists, though.
There is that group of nudists, but they're expressed as to be like a weird group, right? They're not the general quo. They're not the status quo here.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'm following.
Right, so all this kind of portrays Gary, specifically the being a reptilian, being a snake side of things. It speaks of him as kind of like an outsider,
Yep.
right? Is not really part of Zootopia, right? Now we gotta talk about, and Robert didn't spoil it, the voice actor.
Yes. J.K. Simmons. I'm calling it
It's
now.
not.
All right.
It's not J.K. Simmons.
Okay.
It's K. Hui Kwan. I'm gonna send you a picture of this guy. You'll recognize his face. No one knows his name, but
Yeah, you'll recognize his face.
he's got a really soft voice. And he played. Oh, who did he play? And that guy.
I have no
Who did he
clue.
play
I have
in-
no clue who that man is.
Have you ever? Okay, Jacob, have you ever seen the Goonies?
No.
Yeah. He played the
Oh,
guy from the
I know
Goonies.
that.
Seen the Goonies?
I've never seen the Goonies. I know who you're talking about, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's a little Asian kid in the Goonies.
Yeah, that's racist, but yeah, I got you. But yeah, so what's up with this guy? Tell me about this guy.
Okay, so that's who's voicing him, and it's important to note this guy has never really voiced villains. He's only voiced villains, and he does that for a reason because he has this like really kind of soft, kind of a high pitched
a
voice,
villainy
not like a
voice.
deep voice, not like a villain voice, right? He doesn't really do. He's kind of got a lisp with it too, so he's more to the point that he's definitely a villain. Okay, so that's the film. That's some of what we know about the film. Now let's talk about Disney.
Let's.
Move over to Disney for a second. Lots of Disney films, especially recent Disney, like post 2010 Disney films. They as Disney does, because it's Disney, they do kind of try to put messages in the films, in the sense that like look at Frozen, right? The film Frozen. The kind of the overarching message of Frozen is that not all men are good, and that
I don't know
be,
if that's the message of Frozen, personally.
I'm not really sure that is the message of Frozen. I think the better film we go with is just with Zootopia 1. I'm trying to think of a different film.
I think Frozen was more, you should, embrace who you are, even if you're different.
I think that's a bit closer to what it's going to be. You should embrace who you are. I don't know, that first guy you dated ended up being like an evil guy. I mean, that was a pretty low move that evil guy did.
Well, yeah, but okay, Frozen is a cautionary tale about...
It was a twist villain. It was
it was also a shitty twist villain.
Yeah, judging people.
But yeah,
based off of
Frozen is
appearance.
about, like, being...
he was garbage.
Yeah, Frozen is about being who you are, and then it's also a cautionary tale against monarchy and seizing the throne. So
Yeah, right. So there's kind of a message.
It's less of a cautionary tale about monarchy. It's more of a cautionary tale about judging people based off of, like, one singular aspect of their personality. Oh, my sister's a monster. She's got magic powers. Oh, this guy is handsome as hell. He's a prince. But he's a jackass trying to take the throne. That's kind of what it is. It kind of integrates within overall theme of, accepting who you are, even if people call you a villain or a monster. That's like the actual theme of the movie. I mean, there could be subtext to it, right? Like the subtext of Zootopia, the political subtext about Zootopia, whereas Zootopia is... Did I say Subtopia?
Yeah,
Zootopia is kind of the same thing, which is, judging people based off of who a person is, or what they do, or their race, for lack of a better term, right?
Yeah, Zootopia is all about race wars, really, if you think about it.
In a sense, it is, but there's asterisks on that, of course. Yeah. It's now when I say this, like it's a kid's film, I don't mean that in the sense that it contains no meaning. I mean that in the sense of it's a different universe than our own.
Yeah.
So therefore, it has different principles than our own. But if you look at Zootopia, right, a huge chunk about Zootopia is not judging people based on what they look like, right? In terms of criminality, right, you got predators, who's like 10% of the population, and everybody kind of assumes that because you are a predator, therefore you must be savage, therefore like a criminal, kind of in subtext there. And the whole point of that movie is to show that actually this isn't true, and there were other factors behind why one demographic may be more prone to crime than other demographics. That's the underlying point of this movie.
Yes.
Right? Disney likes putting these kind of messages into shows, and Zootopia does have a good one at that. But on that note, Disney is obviously going to put kind of some sort of message into the next movie, right? And the next message for Zootopia 2 is going to kind of relate back to the first message of Zootopia 2. This is where we kind of start putting the pieces together, right? This is kind of the basis of what I think is going to happen in the film.
Yes.
So...
Let's go. We're doing the string on the cork board right now. We're
yes.
Connecting the dots.
Put on your tinfoil hats, buds. We're gonna go in deep.
Yep.
Let's think for a second. We know what do we know about the film? We know that It's been in production since 2016, 2017 the latest. We know this is meant to be like a full-fledged sequel. So 2017 the latest. We know that there's going to be some sort of outsider who is a catalyst of adventure here. He is a catalyst of mystery and of the problems, but isn't himself an issue. We know there's some sort of outsider. And we know that Nick and Judy have to kind of hunt him down. Now, from the previous movie, we know that Nick and Judy went good, right? They're both cops.
Yep.
Right? And we know that Disney likes to kind of take aspects of reality and kind of implement them into their films in some way. Now, let's think to ourselves, what issue that's relatively worldwide has been in the news in some extent, not even in the forefront, but just in the news since 2016
Black
that involves...
Lives Matter, George Floyd.
No.
Okay.
That involves...
So I really thought that's where that was going. I thought I was a genius for a second.
No.
No.
So,
I'm picking up what you're putting down, though. I think I know what you're saying.
What issue that's kind of been in the forefront, not just of American minds, right, but in the forefront of minds kind of worldwide since 2016, that involves a group of outsiders being being found out or hunted down by a group of insiders within a city? Like, what kind of incident has happened that involves people being outside, either being pushed into
Nazi Germany
somewhere?
No, it's not Jew hunting. No. Okay, I'm 0 for 2.
Close, but
You're
no
0 for 2.
dice. Close, but no dice.
It's pretty clear that Gary's meant to be an outsider. That's meant to be kind of hunted down. That's not the right word, but you know what I mean. Kind of seeked out by Judy and Nick, right? And we can take this because he's an outsider and he's being that he's not supposed to be there, but he's there anyways. And the closest thing that kind of matches that in modern day kind of politics is immigration. So this is what I think is going to happen in the film. Right, this is my prediction for the film. I think in the film, through either no fault of his own or some sort of exterior motive, Gary is going to be forced into Zootopia as kind of like, not explicitly said, but in the same kind of context as like an illegal immigrant, right? Nick and Judy are going to have to be tasked with get this guy out of a city he's causing us problems. In that process of trying to find Gary, they discover that Gary, in fact, isn't the reason why everything is wrong. And then they have to work together to try to solve whatever the real thing that's going wrong is. I think that's going to be the premise of the next Zootopia movie. I'm pretty sure of it.
How, if you had to put a percentage on it, how sure would you be?
75.
Gotcha.
75%.
Okay.
75.
And I'm right. Now on this note, a good question to ask is, okay, so if we know that Gary is an immigrant to the city, and we know that he's not really supposed to be there, but a good question is, how did he get there? Which is kind of answered in the same way of, who is the real villain here? Right? Now, this is like I'm even less sure about
Democrats.
This prediction.
Right?
No.
Okay.
I feel even less sure about this theory than I did about the previous theories, right? But I'm pretty certain it's not going to be one of the politicians. Like, my gut says, oh, it's going to be a politician, because there's always a politician, right, in these kind of films. It's always a politician taking a minority and villainizing them for some sort of profit and gain. Like, that's very politician-y thing to do. But in the previous movies, we had 2 evil politicians. And it seems,
it's a bit much.
I don't think it's going to be like the mayor of Zootopia, the third one, right? So let's think about like the American South, right? I think that there's going to be some sort of underground.
Okay, can I just are you positing that the villains of Zootopia 2 are going to be the KKK?
I do not. That is not
okay. Sorry, my fault. I got carried away. 0 for 3, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
0 for 3.
0 for 4, actually, because the Democrats won. Never mind. My fault.
I'm trying to piece it together in a way that makes sense. It's taking a little time. I think there's going to be some sort of separate organization that kind of pushes like snakes into Zootopia. Now, you can kind of liken this to like the southern border, where there's huge cartels in Mexico pushing immigrants kind of against the will over the border, right? I think there's going to be something kind of similar to that. So I suspect there's going to be a villain in this movie who's either going to be a snake or is from the snake world, state, country, whatever it's going to be, who's kind of acting as a catalyst here to push snakes into Zootopia. And this isn't the fault of Gary. This isn't the issue of Gary. He's a product of of being in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And Judy Hopps are going to figure this out, not be believed by the police chief, because why would they? And have to solve this on their own. That's kind of the basis of my guess here. And saying it loud, it doesn't seem like too far-fetched of a theory. It almost seems a little bit obvious. So this may not be as like Sherlock Holmes as I think it is in my head. But I think, to summarize, I think Gary is going to end up being a quasi of some sort of illegal immigration or like human trafficking. And he's going to be forced into Zootopia against his will. And he's like, I don't know what's going on. And then Nick and Judy are tasked to like hunt him down and get rid of him. And they discover that, in fact, Gary is not an evil person. And then they work together to defeat the real evil person, who is some sort of outsider force in
El Chapo.
Yeah, that wants to push him. And that's my prediction for the film that I'm going to put down on paper so I can be either right or wrong in the future.
Gotcha.
Thoughts?
Yeah. I really like this theory. I think you've done your homework, and I really appreciate that. However, you sound insane a little bit.
You do sound insane
because this is
you've been talking about Zootopia for 30 minutes.
Almost, yeah. I want to just you sound. This is so much theory and speculation for a kids movie. What it reminds me of is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with a game called The Forest, but when The Forest was being developed and released, it was released early access, and all the story wasn't finished yet. And occasionally in updates they would add more story content. And one of the big things was, when they were developing it, there's this big sinkhole, and at the bottom of it they found like a big metallic locked door. And what you're saying here reminds me of the process that people were going through theorizing about what was behind the door. Like, you're really crackpotting your way into a theory here, and I love it.
I don't think it's too crackpot. I think it's a lot more just observing some details and making some. I think, now that I say them out loud, it seem like obvious conclusions.
Yeah.
But another piece of it, I just realized that supports this, by the way. The voice actor for Gary, whatever his name was, Ke Huy Quan, like he himself is an immigrant. Right, and usually, it could mean nothing, but it could also, sometimes Disney will hire minorities to play minorities. That's not beyond.
I have heard, that is.
That is
and he does kind of look like an Asian species of snake. He does kind of look like a particular snake from Asia, just by the shape of his head. If you compared him to like I don't know, Viper from Kung Fu Panda or something like that. I could.
Gary just looks like a bit of a goober to me. Like, he just looks like a funny looking guy.
Yeah, he's a silly little Grimbo for sure.
Yeah. So that's
look at the structure of his jaw. Look at the structure of his jaw. That doesn't look like Chinese. Okay, I won't get into Chinese.
It's a cartoon snake, Sam. I think you're reading too much into it. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I mean,
I'm reading too much into it.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. You're the problem here, Sam. You are the problem here, Sam.
Okay, all right, whatever.
Listen, how about you go take your Judy Hopps, and the real adults will talk about the snake, okay?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm trying to be a part of the grown-up conversation here.
I did see most of that.
Right.
You mute yourself just in case they had some like outreach about hops there. I would be able to tolerate.
Yeah. I'm not going to say anything about Judy Hopps. We made a gentleman's agreement. I take those emojis very seriously.
If it is not obvious,
oh, God.
I do like Zootopia. It is. I enjoy Zootopia. I think it's one of my favorite films.
Yeah.
So here's
that's what I put on my. That's when I put that on paper. If I'm wrong in the future, you can laugh at me and say and point at this episode and be like, look, you said it and you were wrong. And
Dominic, I want you to know I'm going to watch Zootopia 2 in theaters now, and I'm going to be cross-referencing what happens in the movie with this. So.
Oh, buddy, I already have my tickets.
There you go.
Wait, can you buy
what do you mean? There's
no tickets available.
Oh.
It's on my hit list. Things up in my calendar. I think they come available in late September.
There you go.
So the movie is set to come out in November. I'm not sure the exact date. Googling November 26th. They seem to be pushing that as a hard deadline, although I'm suspicious. Disney doesn't like to do hard deadlines. They might move that back. Although I don't think they're going to move that back. I'm not sure. I even told you about the trailer yet. We got to talk about the trailer.
Oh, well, there's more.
I've rushed over the whole thing, and I haven't talked about the trailer. Right? There's no trailer.
Yep.
There hasn't been released yet. which is really unusual for Disney. Usually when they release a film in November, they release a trailer for that film in like early February, right? We're nearly in May, and there's no trailer. And none of us really know why. A couple weeks ago, Disney announced that they were going to release some trailers, and everyone on the Reddit thought it would be Zootopia 2, which includes me. And we were wrong. It's not Zootopia 2. It was 3 other films that nobody really cares about. And there's no trailer for it.
There's three other dog shit movies nobody gives a fuck about.
Yeah, nobody really cares about them. And so this comes up to like almost this is like not my idea. I read this on the Reddit and I was like, oh, that kind of makes some sense. I can see that being true. But ever since last year, immigration has been very hot on the news, and some companies have been quite careful around addressing it. And I'm wondering if Disney's having some second thoughts about releasing a film that its primary message is that immigrants are not evil. I wonder if they're having some second thoughts about releasing a film that explicitly says that. Because we know the film is done.
Explain
right?
it.
We know the film is done. People have seen like a complete showing of the film. We know it's complete. It's just in the polishing phase now. We can't see any details about the film, but I've had like an animator who worked on it confirm that the film is, at the very least, it's in a presentable stage. It's done, and the lines have not been recorded for it. But maybe they're like, let's wait to release this until we know what's actually going to shake loose with like Trump and all of his executive orders in the past 100 days. I don't actually know if that's true. This is complete pure speculation. In fact, I suspect I'm not correct here. Just something to think about. But there's no trailer released. I'm still waiting for a trailer. The best guess that I has is June, which seems really late. I suspect it's not true, but maybe it is. Who knows?
Curious stuff. That would explain a lot, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other details of Zootopia that I can talk about that I'm willing to talk about.
Well, so listen, Dominic. I love your passion. I really do. I'm not
but you want to move on to something? Anything else?
Yes, because it's been almost 30 minutes of Zootopia,
yes,
and also
and I am running out of time because I have work at 2.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll shut up as that's my theory is not the right word, but that's my inkling to what I think is going to happen.
And I want to say really, really briefly, I think it's so funny that you have like you mention "we" a surprisingly large amount of times, as if there's some type of Zootopia detective force that is piecing together the clues to this movie. I'm almost convinced you're putting in more analysis than people do with that people did with like Infinity War and Endgame, and you're doing it for Zootopia.
There you go.
When I say we, I should really say I. I mean, I've been talking a lot about this with my girlfriend, and also on the Reddit. So I've been using some assistance there and there. But
yeah,
I should say I. I should say we. Most of this is my own thoughts and feelings towards the film, but you'll figure it out. So that's my thing.
Oh,
if I'm wrong, you can laugh at me. If I'm right, you can still laugh at me. I'm not really gonna stop you.
I'll watch with bated breath.
There's about 1,000.
Sure.
There's about 1,000 other like really minuscule details I was to pull out, like the Chinese release of the poster that I'm not gonna share because it would take hours.
Of course it would. Of course it does.
Oh God,
Robert.
I will send you the. I think I have that handily ready there, but I found the posters for the film for only Korea and China, those 2 markets. The American one isn't out yet. I can't find that one anywhere, or like any other market for that matter.
That's crazy. So moving on, Robert.
Downloads.
Okay.
I found them.
Okay, I guess we're not.
I found those. All right, that's all I got. You can move on now.
Oh, the sloth's back.
Wow.
Let's go.
Oh, gosh.
I love that little guy.
There you go.
It's a Chinese fucking state. I fucking told you, you mother. Oh, you sons of bitches. You were.
Those are the official posters. Like those are the official posters, but not for us, Sam. That's for China.
Yeah.
And
China at the fucking.
Dude, you're taking this too seriously. You gotta chill.
Yeah, Sam, you're not me. You don't have the.
You don't got the cojones for this. Anyways, Robert, would you like to get to your topic?
I'm gonna. I think because since we were talking about Zootopia not even we. Dominic was talking about Zootopia for 45 minutes. That
Uh-huh.
I need to get ready for work.
Okay. Well,
So
it's
my 15-minute bit will have to wait till next week.
Oh no, wow! But I feel quite bad now. I feel quite bad. You
Yeah.
make me feel bad.
I don't.
I gotta get going. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Hold on. Do you want to hit us
Oh.
with a closing statement real quick before you go?
Do not see Zootopia. You do not want to see Zootopia 2. Dominic, you do not want to see Zootopia 2.
Are you using a Jedi
I'm
mind
hit-
trick
hold
on him?
Did I mind trick me?
This is not the movie you're looking for.
You do not want to see this movie.
I think then what I will do is I will rearrange my topics. We won't talk about Abdullah the Butcher
Okay.
today. we'll talk about something else. Abdullah the Butcher. Today we'll talk about something that is actually a bit more.
Are we doing? Which one of these are we doing? Are we doing the immediately in dialogue? Are we doing himbo rebranding, or are we doing tragedy of Darth Kanye the Wise? He made graduation. Which one of those are we doing?
Himbo rebranding. That's the shortest one.
Gotcha.
Yes, that's okay.
So can we start off with our definitions? Maybe. What is a himbo?
Yes. So
yeah, what is a himbo?
Himbo rebranding. Okay, so it's so who's familiar with the term bimbo? Anybody familiar with that term?
I've heard it.
All?
I couldn't define
Is
it for
bimbo an elephant?
No.
Dumbo.
It's definitely not.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Okay, I'll just tell you right now. Okay, here it is. So, a bimbo is slang for a conventionally attractive, sexualized, and naive woman. The term was originally used, but in the United States as early as 1919 for an unintelligent or brutish man. But now, as of the 21st century, stereotypical bimbo is just a physically attractive woman who's dumb as bricks. That's essentially it. A himbo is a gender reverse of that, which is just a generally dumb as bricks guy, but who is kind of airheaded and in most cases attractive. Gotcha. Now, rebranding. I take my personal brand very seriously. I try to be up to date with
the implications of where this is going are immense.
Sam, do you have something to share? Are you actually like a really dumb woman that we don't know about?
No,
he's talking himbo. We're talking himbos now. He's a really dumb man who is insanely smoking hot. That's what we're talking about right now.
We already know that. You don't have to keep telling us that. We know you're dumb.
Yeah. And insanely hot. We already got that unlocked. Don't worry about it.
I'm being too cruel. You can go on.
You're getting the general gist of it. I'm starting to kind of come to the conclusion that I am a lot dumber than I thought I was 2 years ago. just generally, first of all, working the camera over the past 2 weeks, and then spending time down here with my family, my very practical family, which I was just screaming about Chinese snakes. These are people who are not used to my. These are people who are not used to my.
Oh my god! I completely forgot. Oh jeez, do you have headphones on, or did they listen to my whole ramble?
No, he has headphones. He has headphones.
Oh thank god!
I have headphones. They can't hear you, but they can definitely hear me screaming and cursing up a storm. See, I've realized that I lack a certain amount of situational and environmental awareness. And generally speaking, I'm just very unintelligent. So, from this day forward, I have decided that the only thing I got looking for me is my looks and charming personality, and I'm rebranding myself.
Oh, you're rebranding yourself as a himbo. Oh, I get it now. That makes so much more sense. Okay, Sam. I am so down for this character arc. You don't even know. I am ready for the himbo era.
I mean, it's going to be the same exact era, except that I'm probably going to just be more comfortable asking stupider and stupider questions. That's it. That's all that's
see,
really
I see.
happening.
I think I have some notes. When
Please share. Share
On
your
what?
notes.
That
Share
was
your
like a
notes.
5-minute bit.
I have like more than 5 minutes of notes. Okay, so first and foremost, Sam, I like this is speaking not as I'm Mr. Serious.
Okay, Mr. Serious here.
Mr. Serious making a comeback.
Mr. Serious.
I don't
Here we
think
go.
I don't think you're actually all that stupid.
Yeah, no. I was letting you go on for the bit, but you genuinely, you definitely have at least the appearance of intelligence.
Let's
that
start
is back.
Well, that's great.
I actually don't think, for the most part, there's some people out there who do kind of make me wonder. But for the most part, I don't think most people are as dumb as we kind of portray them to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more of a balance of where your knowledge lies, right? So I know people like I'm going to take myself, for example, right? I don't know anything about chemistry. I certainly tried very, very hard to be a chemist and like do chemistry as a major, but I don't know anything about chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no amount of anything I can do to really change that. Right? I'm just quite. I don't
Right,
know.
right.
I don't know what an atom is. I don't know what hydrogen is. I don't know any of that shit.
You don't know what an atom is?
I know what an atom is.
Okay.
In the most vaguest way possible. Okay. I know it's a very small element of an element. It's like the smallest particle you can get from an element. Besides the point. Beyond that, my knowledge in chemistry is quite low.
Okay.
But I don't think that necessarily means that I am a less intelligent, a stupid person. I don't think these are consequential because I think it comes down to like specialization, right? Like a lot of my skills kind of lies in, a lot of my skills lie within like writing, editing, speaking. Those kind of skills I'm quite good at.
Mm-hmm.
And in sciences, the hard sciences, math. I'm not good at. I think there's a balance of things. People kind of view intelligence as having a decent amount of competency in many different areas, but that isn't intelligence. But I think the scale of intelligence here is much more having above average competence in one particular area of specialization.
Mm-hmm.
On that note, I don't really believe you're dumb. I don't think that's a fair on you. I don't think that's fair on you. I'm sure. Well, I'm sure Jacob disagrees, but he's a bit of an asshole.
He is a little bit. Yeah. He dresses the color of his soul, which is black.
Okay. We keep harping on this dark mode aesthetic thing that you've coined. I just have an outfit that I like and is low maintenance. Like I don't understand why I'm getting hate for being efficient with my clothing.
It wouldn't kill you to throw in some color every once in a while. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Color because I've efficiently organized myself. I have ascended beyond the need for color, Sam.
Okay.
What color? Okay. What color? What color would you want me to wear, Sam? What color do you want me to start wearing?
Neon green.
Jesus!
Go fucking kill yourself. Never wearing neon green.
I think deep blue or perhaps a yellow might look nice. Or maybe like a nice denim jacket might look okay on you.
You want me to wear a denim jacket?
I think you could pull it off.
Yeah.
I think you can pull it off. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think you can pull it off.
I'm gonna pull up one day wearing a denim jacket, and you're gonna regret saying that. I guarantee you.
Or you strike me as like the classic like hoodie with jeans look. I think you could pull that off.
Actually, this reminds me of I say story. There was a period of time in high school where people were trying to buy me a full denim outfit at one point, and nothing ever came of it. But if I was dangerously close to wearing a denim shirt, a denim vest, denim pants, denim shoes, denim socks, and denim underwear. For a whole school day.
See, if you wore that ironically, it would be great, and I would have much respect for you. If you did not wear that ironically, we would stop being friends.
Yeah, I'd have to cut all ties with you. You'd have to find new guests for your podcast. It'd be over.
I just got a Discord text from my girlfriend, and we were talking about all of this like really silly nonsense, right? And she just texts me, "So, what are your thoughts about the Pope dying?"
Damn, bro. Yeah.
Oh,
that's got to be a topic. We got to talk about the Pope dying on our next show. But
well, maybe we'll talk about it when we finally get a new one.
Hold on,
Yeah.
gentlemen. This is the Catholic Church, and I do know a little bit about the Catholic Church. I have no authority here. Let me rephrase that. I have no authority here.
Mm-hmm.
But the church takes the time of things, right? We might be looking at 3 to 4 years before next pope.
Seriously?
I'm being dead
4
serious.
years?
Yeah. We've gone maybe not 3 to 4 years. It might be a little bit too high of an estimate. What's the longest we've gone for the pope? I think the longest we've gone for the pope is 12 years
12 years?
in the 1100s. Yeah.
Oh,
12
okay.
years?
The
1100s. That makes sense.
Catholic Church takes things very slow. I think between Benedict and Francis, we had a gap of 6 to 8 months.
Oh my god.
And then we, the Catholic Church even looked into the process. The cardinals, that is, the cardinals elect the next pope. They elect by a 2/3 majority, and they just had the funeral for Francis, and now they're probably going to go for a period of praying and debating of who should be on the ballot of electing, and then they'll probably start electing. My guess is, a month from now. But the process for electing is they pray for a whole week and they debate for a whole week on policies and who should lead what and what should happen and how the voting should take place, because it's different every single time, and how this should all work out, except for Sundays, which they reserve as a day for rest and prayer, and then they cast a ballot but once a day. And then decide. That's how they decide. But a cardinal must win by a 2/3 majority is usually how it works. I think that's how Francis laid it out. Each pope lays out succession for the next pope every time they die, so it's a bit different every time. But I'm sure it's 2/3 majority. It's always been 2/3 majority. It seems like a really good number to go for. And getting what do we have? 130 cardinals. Getting 130 people to. We have 252 cardinals. Getting 252 cardinals to agree on one of them being the leader is quite difficult. So we may be looking at an election period of upwards of a year.
So, but don't you need a pope? Like, what happens with no pope?
We don't need a pope. We do need a pope. Let me rephrase that. As a Catholic, the Catholic Church requires some sort of leadership position as a pope, as the authority of the church. But in the meantime, the Catholic see remains vacant, and they delegate things to the head of the cardinals, who is I don't know these things memorized.
Yeah, and that's my favorite cardinal. I hope he wins.
Just tell me who. Google, you're not being helpful. Okay, by one of the cardinals, one of the old guys.
One
of the cardinals take the role of pope in air quotes, but he's not actually the pope. He's not ordained as a pope. He's just like the fill-in pope.
Yeah.
And there's 252 cardinals, and I think out of those 252, we have 60 or so who are on the block for who could be the next pope. And much debate about who believes in what and who should lead what and who is good at leading a church is going to happen between now and a year from now. There'll be much debate, which this should be in one hand, this is really boring, but I find it really interesting. So this should be a podcast topic. I can go on for a while.
I think so. But who brings it up? Do you want to bring it up, or should we bring it up and just let you talk our ear off for a couple of
geez, I'm sorry. I'm talking you off against Zootopia. Damn it.
It's
like the duality of man. Like on one hand, you got like the 2,000-year-old establishment of the Catholic Church, and on the other hand, you got Nick Wilde. It's the duality of manhood divides.
I mean, I meant that as a term of endearment, but add it to the list.
We should not do this. But we could take bets on who you think the next pope's going to be. I certainly have an idea of who the next pope's going to be.
Yeah, I have ideas too. I know all the cardinals.
I will look at them, and then I will take an educated guess based off of the draw of a tarot deck.
I'm going to take an educated guess based on primarily the whiteness and the Italianness of the candidates.
Yeah, I sent you a website that's the College of Cardinals website, and it has a really nice layout of all the cardinals that are cardinals, and then a brief summary, and then a list of what the political views are. And this is pretty helpful.
Gotcha.
It doesn't tell you everything.
Cardinal bipolar? Yeah, okay, we gotta talk about this later. There's so much to talk about here. I already saw who my bet is. This is a guy dressed as a Sith Lord in the Catholic Church.
It's the Catholic Church. We're all dressed in red.
Which guy? Which guy are we referring to?
His name is Cardinal Mykola Bychok.
Oh, I gotta pull him up. Mykola. Why is this not alphabetized? What are you doing, the Catholic Church?
Right. Do you see this? Are you guys seeing this guy? He's got like a
I thought you were looking at
He is 100% a Sith Lord, dude. That is so...
hold on. Mike Holo Baichok. I can know it.
He's got the fucking hood.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Oh, he's Ukrainian.
Yeah, he's Ukrainian.
We gotta talk about this. This is a topic for another show.
Yeah.
I think we're ready to put a pin into this one.
Closing statements. Closing statements.
But before we go,
for fuck's sake.
Just one thing.
What do you want?
I'm curious. You seem surprised that I was rebranding myself.
Oh my god, gentlemen, we have breaking news. This very second, my friend just sent me a message saying, I think it might be Cardo Mykola Baichak. Unbelievable coincidence.
Looks like he's not up for election, though. Damn it! Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh, fuck, man.
God damn. That was gonna be my vote. Shit. Closing statements. Like what you like. Study what you study. Jack of all trades is a master of none, but also, what is it? A master of some? What the fuck? What's the saying?
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Y'all got me.
It's you had it, and then you added some bullshit onto it. I don't know why, but whatever.
No, there's a second statement. There's a whatever. No. I'll get you to the next episode.
Okay. Yeah.
The point I'm trying to
wait with bated breath.
The point I'm trying to say is trust yourself. The stupidest ideas are usually the best ideas. Be honest with yourself, and if you detect a kind of personal failing on your own part, take it with some grace and good humor. You really can't fail with some good friends and family in your corner. Unless they're an orphan, in which case you're pretty much fucked.
In which case half of that is gone and you're fucked.
Yeah, sorry. You picked the short end of the straw there, buddy. Should have had some parents. Don't know what to tell you.
Bad RNG on the parents.
Yeah, bad RNG on the parents.
All right. Dominic, what's your closing statement for me?
I feel like that I've made myself sound like an absolute nut job this show. And I want to assure to the world, I am not weird.
Yeah, the best way to assure people of that is saying that you're not weird.
I'm not
citation needed. Citation needed. But like, I did totally spend like 45 minutes. But if I had more time to prepare, I would have cut that in half. It would have been like a 25-minute show segment. But I'm not like.
It happens.
I am. I guess I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess this is where you can cut it, and this is my actual closing statement. My friends who listen to the show, I wanna like assure you. I swear, I'm not a fairy.
That's no relation.
He's a part of my plan, baby.
I'm also not nearly as interested in Zootopia as I think Jacob's gonna make me sound.
What are you talking about? You act like I had like manipulate your footage into making like I just cut out pauses. That's all I do when I edit. Like that's occasionally I'll edit out me saying something over you talking. That's all I do. I'm not like manipulating the footage to like make you look bad.
I don't know if I can believe that.
Yes.
So my closing statement to the people of our podcast. I swear I'm not a fairy or that I'm like some weirdo.
Yeah, that it?
He couldn't
even finish the statement. He knows it's not true.
He couldn't even finish the statement because he knows it's not true. He knows it's not true, bro.
If you have any apartments in the Greater Rochester area, please send them in. I'm looking for a new apartment. That's when I'm going to pedal for the show.
God damn
Hallelujah.
It. Oh my God. Okay, my closing statement is I'm going to end the podcast now because we've gone 20 minutes over, and I have been fighting the need to go use the bathroom for 20 minutes. I'm gonna go.
You could have gone to use the bathroom.
No. I'm committed to my job on the podcast, and now that we're done, I'm gonna go piss my fucking nuts off.